Hi Ma, good morning. Welcome back for today's session. So in the last class we have taken introduction regarding different cloud deployment models, different cloud services, advantages with this in terms of characteristics. Okay, so we have three types of deployment models, right? One is a public, private and hybrid. We also have one more, that is a community. Okay now, what about the cloud services? Service means we have to get our work, we have to fulfill our requirement. Okay, if that is the case, the cloud have to give a lot of possibilities to fulfill our requirement. So those possibilities should not take care of ourselves, but should be taken care of by the cloud service provider itself. Okay, so in what manner he will take care of all the possibilities to satisfy any cloud user? That is in terms of different categories. He have to provide the infrastructure in terms of computers, hardware, memories, network connectivity. In terms of software tools, packages, languages, in terms of the front end or user interface by which the user can able to communicate or can use the application, right? Okay, so for this we are going to learn a new topic today called as the categories of cloud computing. What? Categories of cloud computing. Right, we will start. So cloud computing delivers infrastructure, platform and software applications as services. So what are the three main categories? As we learned in the previous classes, infrastructure, platform and the software. So a part of this we have a lot minima, data as a service, okay, security as a service, one more is storage as a service. Okay, so like this we have lot of services by which we can fulfill our requirement. Okay, so all the services providing by any cloud is not in terms of free of service, but by using pay as you go. Right, so in terms of utility computing only we can get the service. Right ma? Yes. So what are the basic three main categories of three different service models? So one is the infrastructure as a service, IaaS, platform as a service, PaaS, software as a service, SaaS. All the storage, memory, hardware devices, whatever infrastructure we needed physically is going to given by infrastructure as a service. Coming to the platform as a service, tools, packages by which we can develop our application which can be user friendly to the customer or the user is nothing but the platform as a service. Finally, the applications by which the user can access, can store their data are called as the software as a service. So all the services are going to or are getting or providing in terms of internet only. So as we said from the beginning, without internet there is no cloud, there is no grid, there is no cluster, there is no online computing. So you have to do your own work in your system. See, users can access these services over the internet on the infrastructure of cloud service providers. So we don't want any headache of how they are providing their infrastructure, how they are going to maintain their packages. We just have to get the service by paying some amount to them. That is our wish. Right. See, if you observe, this is a generalized picture in which we can observe all type of services at one place. At the top we have a SaaS, software as a service, can be called as a client interface. Okay. At the next level we have a PaaS which contains some launch queue, offer a launch control, monitor queue, monitor controller. What are these queue? The user request. How to access, the user will going to request his service here the client interface. After getting the request, the PaaS, the software underlying this user interface will take care of all the categories. Which person has been requesting, okay, how we have to control him, how we have to access his data, how to give the undeterminate service to him. Right. So these are all going to managed by PaaS, and finally the IaaS where the infrastructure is going to maintain. That infrastructure which contains a lot of computers a lot of computers in previous days, they are going to maintain in master and worker category, that is client server computing. Means the server is going to be connected with a lot of computers or clients. The clients will make a request. It is not by us, it is their infrastructure only. Okay, so for lot of servers or servers, there is a main server who will control all the servers. So for all this, we have a distributed file system where anywhere we can get the data with the help of this distributed file system, right ma? And we have a status DB, that is data as a service. Data about all the information about the clients, about the network capabilities, about the infrastructure, about the platform. Okay, they have to maintain which software is running better, which infrastructure is going to be hiding, or which infrastructure we have to provide more, that is we need more memory, we need more processor. If that is the case, all the information is going to be stored at one place called as a data as a service in terms of status database status, right ma? So these are the some of the services by which we are going to get the flexible data accessing, storing and processing of our data. How many we have? Client software as a service, platform as a service, infrastructure as a service, data as a service. A part of this we have a lot of services, storage as a service, computation as a service. We will see very shortly. So in the first one, infrastructure as a service. As infrastructure as a service, lot of connected devices will be there, in which we have to use a virtualization mandatory. Without virtualization, we can't do anything, ma? We can't do anything, because all the resources have to use very efficiently without wasting at any point. If that is the case, the infrastructure contains computing, storage and networking. So all these are going to be virtualized. Okay, without virtualization, there is no concept at all. Right. See, the user does not manage or control the underlying cloud infrastructure. No, we don't have, because we are going to be the top layer, that is software as a service layer. Beneath of that we have a PaaS. Beneath of the PaaS we have a IaaS. So we don't have any direct control of this infrastructure. Okay. So but as a control over the OS, because that is our OS. OS, storage, deployed applications, possibly and select networking components. Yes, it is our wish. With that only we can communicate with the cloud, right? Yes, this IaaS model encompasses, this IaaS model also contains SaaS, storage as a service, compute instance as a service, and finally communication as a service. I am saying which I said to you, right? So till now how many we got? Software as a service, platform as a service, infrastructure as a service, data as a service, computing as a service, communication as a service, this storage as a service, right? A part of it we will get every service by which we can get our application executed without our intervention at somewhere. That is called as a service by cloud service providers. If you observe here, so these are the some of the companies, okay, who are giving the infrastructure as a service possibilities. See, Amazon EC2, GoGrid, Rackspace Cloud, FlexiScale in the UK and Joint Cloud. It is a 2011 scenario. In 2011, these are the companies who top up and they came forward to give infrastructure as a service. Right. So among them, the topmost company is Amazon Web Services. Right. So the name given by Amazon for this IaaS structure called as a EC2. Let us see. So these are the some of the tools and languages they are going to use and voices in order to provide the service to us. Okay. So Amazon EC2 architecture I want to give you. What is Amazon EC2 means? Elastic Compute Cloud. Elastic means we can extend for any, it can extend for any number of users for any number of applications without any intervention in the service. Right. So EC2 allows user to use virtual machines of different configurations as per the requirement. So any number of systems, any number of configurations they are going to use. We don't bother. The user is not going to involve. The user don't know about all these hidden concepts. They just access their application, use the data, process the data. That's it. He just deploy the data. Okay. right? So it allows various configuration. EC2 means any user with any configuration can access the data by using this Amazon EC2 architecture. See, it allows various configuration options, mapping of individual server, various pricing options. Very advantages with this. So this is the architecture of Amazon EC2, right? If you observe here, it is the area in which the service provider will give all the services in terms of different infrastructures, okay, in this region. So in order to get the service from this region, we should connect with the internet with some domain name. Okay, here there is an instance, means at particular time we used to maintain some instance. The instance may be of yours or any others, that is called as instance. That instance is going to be accessed by Elastic IP. Okay, so all the instances or any other type of data is going to store in the S3 buckets now. They are going to store in the S3 buckets, means a large amount of data that we can store, okay, the S3 bucket, which can be mainly useful for the storage. If you observe here, so AWS security group is also maintained in order to take care of all these extensible bucket services in terms of storage. Right now, so this is Amazon Web Services architecture. So here is a process we can view easily by which we can get the service. Means by who means the user will get the service. If you observe here, it is via. We are here, okay, by using virtual private networks. What is a VPN? Virtual private networks. So there is no direct establishment of our connection from us to the cloud service provider. There is a temporary connection established between us and the company, so that it may not be feel or it may not be proved as a cumbersome to any other user. See, if you are using the path permanently or bandwidth you are going to use permanently, if any other user want that, how he can access? He can't access, right? So these virtual private gateways will take care of any IP address of any user at any place, right? So once there is a virtual private network or path has been established from customer to internet cloud, automatically he can get the service in any of the subclouds or subnets by using some router. The router will take care of the path and along with the availability of these subnets. Okay, now customer isolated AWS resources. So now the customer, after routing to any particular subnet, he can use any services of this subnet or subclouds. Okay, ma? See this. So Amazon Web Services clouds. These are all the Amazon Web Services cloud. So by which he can provide the service to the customer by providing virtual path networks and division of their service clouds in terms of different types, different parts also, so that every user may not able to fight with the same cloud. The total data distribution is going to be in terms of different small parts or subnets, by which we can easily move from one place to another for our data. Right? So after completion of the IaaS, infrastructure as a service, we can move to the platform as a service. So as I said, platform is nothing but the OSs, the languages, the packages and tools. All these comes under PaaS only. Right? If you observe here, yes, to be able to develop, deploy and manage the execution of applications, how these packages, languages, tools are going to use. So by this, the user can able to access, store and deploy, process his applications. So this can be useful to develop your applications or apps. So this platform includes what? Operating system along with the runtime library support. So whatever the built-in libraries we are going to use to execute your concept, we can use this. Okay, so this has triggered the creation of PaaS model to enable users to develop and deploy their user applications. So the user can develop his applications. So what is cloud contains? What the platform cloud contains means it contains integrated computing system consisting of both hardware and software infrastructure. Yes. Okay, it contains both hardware and software. For example, some of the tools we are going to use here is the languages, software tools supported by provider, Java, Python, .NET, whatever language you can use to develop your applications. Nothing but the platform as a service concept. So by this we can develop and testing also we can done this. Once this testing is over, and they are ready to use by any user or customer, they are going to deploy in the cloud. Okay, the user will accommodate, okay, or use these applications. Right, ma? Yeah, no need that one. Yeah, so this is the table who is going to provide the platform as a service. Google App Engine, Microsoft Azure, Amazon Elastic, MapReduce, Aneka, Salesforce. So these are all the some of the companies who is going to provide the platform as a service. Topmost companies I can say. So what models they are going to use? Languages. So Google App Engine they are going to use Python, Java and Eclipse based IDE. Salesforce and Apex IDE. Microsoft Azure .NET it is using, and MapReduce, that is Amazon Elastic MapReduce using Hive, Pig, Ruby, Perl, Java, Python. Oh my god. So lot of languages are going to use by Amazon, and Aneka is going to use .NET and SDK. Okay. So what the models they are going to support here is MapReduce. We will discuss about the MapReduce in the 4th unit. MapReduce is a one. It is an executing platform. It is one of the tool in the Hadoop framework, by which data at anywhere can able to execute at any large amount of data if is there, we can execute our data. That's a very benefit with this. Okay, target application storage options. So by which what we can do is we can develop web applications, we can store, we can develop business applications, enterprise applications, data processing, enterprise applications, and high performance computing we can develop. Right. So that is the advantage with the platform as a service, right? So here is one of the Google App Engine we learned in the previous table. So Google App Engine playing a vital role, or it is a topmost company who is going to provide the platform as a service. This is the case, just see this. So web application provider. Provider means a developer who will develop a web application for the customer, right? So he will develop some local development. Means he will not deploy that application directly to the user without testing. First he have to develop his own, okay, local development he have to done. So in this, what are the steps they are going to do? They have to build, test, deploy and upgrade. Okay, obviously you have to building, they have to test, after testing they have to deploy, after deploying they are going to upgrade. Okay, so in this, what are the users, how can the users will access? By the users will able to communicate with the help of internet connectivity, that is HTTP user interface. Here the Google load balancer, with lot of servers they are going to maintain, they will maintain the data, right? So in order to maintain this data, they are going to maintain some interface here. See, the manage, traffic monitor and version control. Here the packages are going to use by any company, by which we can store data of the users. Okay, it is going to be the mediator between the users and infrastructure. This is the infrastructure, these are the users. Okay, na? So the users data or user interface is going to maintain by the middleware called as the packages. Right, ma? And software as a service, nothing but a lot of applications by which we can access our data. Right? So this refers to browser initiated application software over thousands of cloud customers. Okay, so whatever the services and tools offered by PaaS are utilized in the construction of applications and management of the deployment and resources offered by PaaS providers. Okay, so software applications as a service, it is also, right? Yes, some of the software SaaS, see, Google Gmail and Docs, Microsoft SharePoint and CRM. These are all the some of the companies who is going to maintain the SaaS. They are going to provide the user interface applications by which the user can access the data from the cloud. So some of the providers are Google and Microsoft, integrated IaaS and PaaS, Amazon GoGrid, pure IaaS services, Microsoft, they are going to give the infrastructure services. Not only this one, I have given the list at the beginning of our classes also. We can get lot of list. So with these types of services, is there any benefits with that? By using this type of services in the cloud computing, what are the benefits you are going to be enjoy with this? Okay. Now coming to the advantages. These are all some of the advantages. We have few more list also backside. Cost savings, of course we can save the cost. Reliability will be there. Our data is going to be secure at any time, round the clock. Manageability, they will manage. Strategic edge means it will give the quality service. Lower computer cost, of course we need to no need to maintain higher bandwidth or higher storage for us. Improved performance, very good. Reduce software cost, no need to install a new software for us. Instant software updates, any updates they are going to verify by themselves, no need to take care of us. Improved document format compatibility, yes, they can store our data with excellent format. About of this we have few more. Unlimited storage capacity, we know about this. Increased data reliability, we know. Universal document access, latest version availability, easier group collaboration and device independence. So these are the features we are discussing from the beginning. Okay, these are the advantages of our cloud computing. Coming to the disadvantages, we have the first and foremost disadvantage is, what is the disadvantage, ma? We need internet. Okay, there is a possibility of downtime. There is a possibility if the server is not available, some problem is there with the server who is going to maintain the subservers, automatically our data has been gone. Okay, security, there is a possibility of violation of security because of threats. Okay, vendor lock-in, whenever the vendor is not available, when he got any problem, then our data is not available for us. Limited control, it depends upon the service provider, ma. The control capabilities depends upon the service provider. Requires a constant internet connection, I said, can be slow, possibility based upon the bandwidth you have. Okay, does not work well with low speed connections, exactly because of bandwidth problem only. Features might be limited. Of course, previously features might be limited, but today the features are extended to any extent. There is no doubt in that. Of course, we can remove from these cloud providers, but if any cloud provider who is providing a little bit services, a part of the Google, Amazon, Microsoft, IBM, some of the new companies which are arising or burgeoning, okay, new clouds, they may provide the few features. If that is the case, we can include this disadvantage here. Okay, stored data might not be secure. Of course, anytime at any company, at any application, we can't trust. Stored data can be lost, possibility is there, general concerns will be there. Okay, so these are all some of the disadvantages of any cloud service providers, ma. Of course, we have to learn this, but this is not in our hands. The cloud service provider will take care of all the issues and you have to resolve their issues. Okay, no? Right, ma, I will wind up this topic for today. In the next class, we will learn about the total implementation of virtual concepts, how the virtualization is going to implement it directly into the computer. Is there any layers? What are the functionalities of the layers? Okay, so till then, have a nice day. Bye bye.